Hey, Delano, can you see and hear us?
Hey, Tim, I can see and hear you perfectly fine.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this money-making motivational mindset Zoom and Facebook Live, guys. We are so excited to be joining you guys tonight. We're excited to be a part of your world tonight, guys. We are so grateful that you would join us. Before we get started, I just want to thank God for giving us this opportunity, for giving us the opportunity to even do this Zoom and just being able to give us an opportunity to do this. Guys, like I said, my name is Tim Harvey. My partner's name is Will Galloway, and we were blessed to start REI Wholesalers R Us. The gentleman that you just heard before, his name is Delano Logan. He does a great job with what he's doing with us. He does a great job in introducing us every week. He is a real estate investor, started his business a couple of years ago. And, you know, guys, I mean, this is a great business. As you know, as our partners like to say, we love his integrity. We love what he's doing. So you know, hats off to you, my friend. Well, listen, guys. Like I said, and like Delano so eloquently said, in light of the times, we are grateful to be able to get with you guys tonight. This is a money-making motivational mindset Zoom. And the thing that we are grateful for is that we have an opportunity every week to come and revisit mindset. You know, the Bible says to adjust your mindset daily. That's what the Bible says. To renew yourself daily. So to me, that means renew your mindset daily. And I'm grateful that we have at least one day a week where we can come back and renew ourselves daily, corporately as a team. We started REI Wholesalers R Us 5 years ago. As Delano said, we started 5 years ago. Me and Will, you know, we've been partners doing business together, and we just want to see our community come together. More specifically, our real estate wholesaling community come together. And in doing that, you know, we had already been doing a lot of business, you know, with our wholesale community. We were doing, you know, remote selling, virtual wholesaling before we even knew the term. And, you know, we were just doing it together on a big scale. So we decided to come together and bring our community together so that we all could share information, have like minds when it comes to this business. And we sat down, we put together, had our first meeting at a Barnes & Noble, and then had our first meeting in the community at a Piccadilly. And from there, we've been doing them for 5 years, like we said. Matriculated into not just meetings, but now we started helping partners and partnering up with a lot of our partners, doing business with a lot of partners. Like he said, you know, some 6 figures, some getting their first deal done, some, you know, have been doing business forever. So, you know, it's just a blessing to be able to get this done. So now here we are. We have our money-making motivational mindset Zooms, and with these Zooms are all set for mindset. They're all set for mindset, and the reason being is because you know, and now that I'm thinking about it, you know, my reasons were light. You know, back when I was in corporate America, you know, the only thing I was concerned about was getting up on Monday. But now, you know, people have every day to consider. People have every minute to consider. You know, when it comes to their mindset. And now is the perfect time to, you know, to have something on mindset, because we are bombarded daily with, you know, with negative messages, negative things that we see, and, you know, through no fault of, you know, of our own, but, you know, based on the system, you know, that we're a part of. So, you know, we have to bring it back to ourselves. You know, the word says that we're in the world, but not of the world. So, what that means to me is that, hey, I mean, we've got to, you know, we've got to renew our minds daily. So not just on Mondays, but Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, we've got to renew our minds. So we are grateful, like I said, for this, you know, for this corporate coming together of money-making motivational mindset Mondays. I'm going to talk about that just a little bit more, but I did just want to tell you guys that that we are not ignorant of what's going on. We're not ignorant of the current events. The current events, you know, not just African Americans. The current events affect everybody. Everybody, you know, these current events affect. So, you know, if you're thinking it's just an African American thing, no, this is an American thing, and it affects everybody. So, guys, just, you know, keep your minds, you know, renew your minds daily, and focus on what you focus on. Now, here's the thing. The base of this, and we're going to get to the Saturday that we had in just a second, guys. I mean, we had an outstanding Saturday. But the base of this is economic freedom. The reason that a lot of this happens is because people are disenfranchised and people don't have the economic freedom that they desire or the economic freedom that they deserve. So that's why things like this happen. It's based on people feeling left out and not being able to, not being able to feel like they can participate in the American dream. So that's, part that I think I went on just a little bit, but
I think it's
this is an American thing. It's not just a black, not just a black and white thing. This is an American thing. I've got a lot of friends from different nationalities, different religions. I've got friends from every walk of life, and everybody is being affected by this.
Yeah, I just think I think everything you're saying is cool. Like you said earlier, we are going to touch on recapping the meetup and kind of going over what we got from the meetup and some pros, things that some notes that we went over and stuff. But it wouldn't be right if knowing and I'm not a political person at all, but I do feel that what we're going through right now, it wouldn't be right if we didn't, touch on it. We don't have to have a whole meeting about this topic, but I think it's okay for us to kind of touch on it, just because there's a few things I want to even say myself, because I mean, at the end of the day, when the coronavirus came on, we touched on it, you know what I'm saying? And this ain't no different. It's something that the world is being affected by, so there's nothing wrong with expressing, what's on your heart, especially if it's coming from a good place, So before I even go into all that, let me just give my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ all the glory, because, he gets all the glory even through what's going on. We still got to glorify his name, So I just want to give all the glory to him first. And first, I want to, pay my respects right now to George's family. Not only just George, everybody who has died, for the wrong reasons, that was out of their control, that was murdered, So I just want to pay my respect to all of these families, specifically George, since his was most recent. I want to pay my respect to them. And I just pray, man, I agree with everything everybody's doing. It's some things I agree with and some things I don't agree with. And I'm going to touch on, both of them. I agree with the protests. I agree with, wanting all of us to be equal, even though society never look at us as equal, but I just pray that we get to that place, where we're not feeling like it's a divided world, I filmed yesterday when the people were down there protesting down here where I live, down in Atlantic Station. And again, I was saying it even in the video, I respect it. I respect anybody who stand up for what they believe in. I respect anybody who won't change, because if you keep your mouth closed or if you don't take action, change won't happen. That's the only way change happens, if you speak your mind and you express yourself. So I agree with that part. I agree with the march, and I agree with everything they're doing, even though I think I just looked at the news and they're out there right now, so I agree with all that. What I don't agree with, and you can touch on after this, I don't agree with using this to express us bringing peace to this world, us wanting everything to be equal, us, I don't agree with the crime being associated with it, because what it does is, for one, is making the protesters who are out there standing for their rights, standing for what they believe in, it makes that look bad, and that's not bad. So you can't, I hate that it's mixing the two, because one thing the media is going to do is the media is going to say, oh, the protesters out here breaking in the stores, the protesters out here looting, you know what I'm saying? And that's not even the case, because they found out that a lot of them are just thieves that's trying to take advantage of the system. And some of them was even said to be terrorists. You know, we don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think it has to do with everybody's who out there really standing up for what they believe in. I don't think it's the same, you know, because even earlier, you know, it was a guy out there saying, man, I didn't even go to work today because I wanted to stand out here and march. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to express myself, you know. So again, I pray that this world come to a peace where, you know, things get better, even with the police force. I don't think police are bad. I mean, some of them, yeah, of course. You always gonna have your crooked cops. You know, that goes back to, you know, the crooked cops who was extorting the drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go way deep. You know what I'm saying? You gonna always have crooked policemen. But again, we also got to respect that there are good policemen, and, you know, they are here to protect us. So we can't, you know, ignore that part as well. So
Yeah.
Again, my thing is just praying that, for one, that we come to a peace with the families that has lost their loved ones behind police brutality. I pray for them, pray for their families. I pray for the protesters out there, making sure that they get their point across in a peaceful manner and nobody get hurt. Nobody businesses get destroyed. I've been seeing a lot of businesses, people running in these stores. It just saddens me seeing these people running in these stores, taking people's stuff, and when you see people posted on social media, all you hear people replying back is, oh, they got insurance, they can get it replaced. But it's not about that, you know what I'm saying? Because just like we're all on here, most of us on this line right now are businessmen and women. So right. Just like you struggle, you put sweat equity into building your business, those people did the same thing, and they have nothing to do with what's going on. So right. Yeah, their insurance might replace a lot of that, but insurance don't replace everything. And starting over is don't nobody want to start over. That's just like you, Tim, right now. It's successful. You've been in 20 years of business. Somebody just come and wipe out your bank account, and now you got to start all over zero, and you got to start your business from scratch and do everything you did 10 plus years ago and do it all over again. Somebody telling you, oh, you can start over. You're Tim Harvey. Just start over. You'll get it. You'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm not saying you won't figure it out, but who want to start over? Who want to start from scratch? Especially if it's not your fault for having to start from scratch. You know, so I just think that, you know, we pray for the people who are actually out here doing that. Like, I pray that they have, you know, they change their mindset. Because again, like this Monday call, it's all about the mindset. It's all about the way you think. Because right. if you had the right proper mindset from a spiritual place, you wouldn't even be thinking about wanting to take from nobody. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, how can we help our community? How can we build our community up? How can we, you know, how can we support each other? Because guess what? You're kicking a brother or sister down who's already down. Everybody's already down from this coronavirus right now. Right. You know, people are trying to get PPE loan, PPA, whatever you call it, SBA loans and all that stuff. People trying to get their businesses back on the right track. So we're already down. So you're trying to take somebody who's already down and you're trying to kick them down even further. And that's not right. So I just really pray that we get better in that. And, you know, and I'm looking at, you know, all these videos where people doing it. And it's a lot of these millennials, you know what I'm saying? And I just pray that they, you know, they get it, because they didn't grow up like we grew up, man. Times have changed. These youngsters are, you know, they think differently. They act.
Yeah.
And they don't respect nothing.
Well, they do. They do. I mean, you know, we got someone on this line, so they do. It's just, you know, it's just sometimes what it is. What I do want to say is this, guys. Listen, if this is your first time, and I did get some in the chat box, listen, we always talk about this kind of stuff. You know, and I understand it's a green thing. And listen, the topic, you know, the topic is mindset, you know, and how does this affect your mindset? And regardless of what you think about it, you know, this affects everybody's mindset. And people want to know, hey, you know, what's next in real estate? So this does affect mindset, you know, and you know, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this, because this is what's going on in real life. We talked about coronavirus. We talked about, you know, when we going to talk about this, you know, this affects the real estate market, whether you like it or not. You know, this affects whether people want to go live.
So, I mean,
Well,
And
well, well,
let me
when the people
quick,
want to
bro.
go live places like downtown, this affects it. So it is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know,
Well, I just
that
want to say this, and I just want to say this, and I ain't saying nobody's name or nothing, but I'm just replying back to this comment. Like, we
yeah,
talk about what we want to talk about. This our call,
yeah,
so if you don't like it, you can get off our call.
you have to be on it.
You know what I'm saying? And what we talk about not only affects our community, but it affects the real estate market also.
Absolutely.
So, if you don't appreciate what we're talking about, then get off our call. Point blank. I ain't
Right.
biting my tongue on it. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. What we talk about on Mondays, if you've been following us on Mondays, we talk about mindset. So everything we're talking about is a mindset thing. It's the way people think. And you got to start from the mindset to be able to get to a place where you can make money in real estate. If you want to go deeper into the situation,
Right.
all of this politics stuff, all this stuff what's going on in the world, this is affecting our community. And our community affects real estate. So we have to start at the foundation, which is the foundation is our community. So we have to build our community up and build our mindsets up to where we can get to a place where the real estate market will increase, because that's what we all want. We want the real estate market to increase.
Right.
But mindsets are not there and the communities are clashing, then the community affects the real estate market.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro. I just wanted to mention that because I'm comment that I didn't appreciate.
No, you said what I want to say because really, listen. It is green, but before you get the green, you got to think about blood. You got to think about red. You know what I'm saying? Which is blood. You understand what I'm saying? And people are spilling their blood for this. People have spilled their blood. I can't hear you. But people have spilled their blood for this. People have spilled their blood for freedom. So, listen, we'll talk about it. But
Absolutely. So
yeah, let's
we
switch
got our
gears.
point across. So let's recap, man, because Saturday was awesome, man. And
Yeah.
I definitely spend the next 30 minutes or so talking about the meetup and creative deals, because I think we talked about it earlier. I definitely think that we're going to have to face this animal with these creative deals. Like, that's something that we're not going to get past. And we got to get better with being able to not only, know to distinguish the deals, but also get better at, putting those type of deals together.
Here's the thing. We now we're problem solvers. Like this business, we are problem solvers. So we have to solve problems. There's no option, but to solve problems. So you're coming up upon a time, in the next time or two, where people are just going to be walking away from their houses with no equity. I mean, it's just going to happen. It is going to happen whether we like it or not. Whether whether we want it to happen or not, it's going to happen. So we've got to be in position to solve problems beyond just the standard wholesale deals that we've been doing. And God has been good to us in that, and we've been able to solve a lot of problems that way. But there are other ways to solve problems, and that's what what we've been talking about here on Saturday. I was blessed, man, to see our guests come out, and just really, I mean, those guys gave $1 million worth of game. Like they say, those guys gave $1 million worth of game for free. And, in most cases, those guys charge, for that game. And guys, if you guys want to understand what subject tools are, lease options, and what's the other one?
We talked briefly about short sales too.
Yeah, short sales. Yeah, subject tools, lease options, and short sales. Guys, you gotta go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube and check it out, because this money making. This meetup was $1 million meetup. I mean, bar none, this was the $1 million meetup. And if you want to make money in the next couple of months, in the months to come, then you need to have seen this meetup that we talked about, because that was $1 million worth of game. We had Anthony on, Anthony Epps, our good friend, You know, we had Eddie Raymond, you know, who's another good friend of ours. We had Jacques Pierre and Justin Ship, two new friends of ours. But I mean, those guys. I mean, and of course, Deanna on Law Clerk on Demand hosting it, and we saw that. You know, we saw that the same list that that Deanna actually gets to us here. You know, while we're talking about some things that we feel like aren't deals, you know, Eddie is actually picking those things apart. You know, from the same list that Deanna sends to us, that that we're like, man, that's not a wholesale deal. You know, these guys are like picking this stuff apart and actually making $20,000-$30,000 off those same deals. And not saying that we don't do, because we've got a couple of them that we're doing, but I mean, it was just an amazing thing to see. I was actually just taking my notes and just got a lot of value out of that. So I don't mean to edify any more than just to say that was $1 million worth of information. And listen, and we got it for free. And we're just grateful that we were able to get it for free. When you talk about being able to turn a deal that that you didn't think was a deal, or doesn't apparently look at a deal, into a $20,000 to $30,000 check, I mean, that's just an amazing thing. Not only that, but most importantly, you're solving somebody's problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you're really solving somebody's problem. And somebody that has to move or something like that, rather than them being stuck with a debt that that they can't pay. I mean, you're solving that problem. So I mean, you just couldn't beat it. You couldn't beat it. So guys, go to YouTube. Go to our page on YouTube. I think she just uploaded it today, about an hour or two ago. And go through that video, like it, comment on it, and then share it. And then subscribe to the channel, of course, because like I said, I mean, it was $1 million worth of game, and you got to get on it, partner.
I like when he was just to point out a couple of highlights. I like when he was going over I think the sandwich leases were
sandwich leases.
I think Eddie was talking about how you can get paid 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Like how you can get paid from the down.
One transaction, you can get paid 3 times.
You can get paid from the down payment, then you can get paid from the cash flow, and then if you turn around and sell it, on down the line, you can get paid, once you sell it. So I mean, to have a deal where you may not have even thought you could make money on it because it didn't have no equity in it, but then when you can find a way to structure, a sandwich lease or something like that on the property where you could possibly get paid anywhere between 2 to 3 ways, two to three times. I'm sorry. I mean, I think that's amazing, and just even subject to just being able to again take a property that has no equity, like get an example of a property might be the seller might owe 80, and the seller might owe 80, and they want 100, and you're like, man, it's only like 20,000 over equity. If they owe 80, they want 100, and it's worth, let's say, 120 or 110. Like, how can I make money on that? Like, I can't even wholesale that. It's no room enough for me to even wholesale.
Most people will say.
And we used to would say the same thing. But then when you got somebody, if you got the seller wanting 100, and then you got somebody who's willing to put down $20,000-$30,000, and the seller only saying, well, I'll let you take over my payments, or I'll let you do a lease option, and I want $5K down, but the buyer willing to put down $20,000 to $30,000, like, you got a deal that you was looking at, like, how can I wholesale this? But then you got somebody who wanted to put down a down payment to take over the payments.
Yeah.
And now you're like, dang, I went from not finna make nothing to now, like, shoot, I could put 10, 15, 20 grand in my pocket over a deal that didn't have no equity in it. You know, so
and if you want to stay in the deal, you can still cash flow on it.
and the deal, it might the pay the PITI, the principal tax and interest, the whole mortgage payment might be $800 a month, but it might rent for $1,100 in that neighborhood. You know, so you can carry that for a couple of years, and then that 2-3 years you did that. Now, you in it for 100, and it might be worth 150. Now you might have an FHA buyer who might, that person move out. Now you saying, hey, I'll just throw it on the market. I'll clean it up, put about, $5,000 in to clean it up. And now you might have a FHA buyer who might want to buy it for 140. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up selling it on the back end 3-4 years later. So it's just it's creative. That's the type of creative. It's a lot of creative stuff. I know this might be over a lot of y'all head because I was still kind of thinking about just a wholesale deal. But I mean, that's kind of some advanced stuff, And
well, family, we just want to know, like family. I mean, like, do you guys understand these deals? Do y'all have questions about some of these deals? I know we got questions.
Yeah, put them in the chat.
Yeah, put them in the chat box, because I know we got a chance to kind of get to. We got a chance to get to a few questions. I don't think we got a chance to get to all the questions, but we got a chance to get to a few questions. And listen, if you have questions, then we definitely have answers for that. And just understand what it was. Like I said, over the next couple of months, as this market goes into a different phase, over the next couple of months, these strategies you're definitely going to need, because people are going to be working to walk away from some houses, and they're not going to have any solutions. They won't have solutions. The bank won't have solutions, and it's going to be up to us to have the solution. So we went through a time where everything was just it was just peachy clean, But now we've got to go through a time where we've got to, as a collective group, put our thinking caps on, as a collective group, and work to solve these problems, or opportunities, as we like to say, because problems are just opportunities. When you think about it, you get paid, to solve problems. A doctor gets paid, to solve your problem, and that's what people are going to be relying on you for. So in the next couple of months, it's not just going to be, what do you offer me for my house? It's not going to be like that. I promise you guys. In the next couple of months, it's going to be like, will you buy my house from me? It's going to be like that. And I, and the reason I can say that is because I have seen it. I have seen it. I have been through the process of where people were begging you to buy their house so that they can, get some kind of relief. The bank has been begging you to, what can you do with this house so it can get some kind of relief. So guys, we're problem solvers. And that's what this meetup was all about, was, find additional ways, to solve that same problem from the homeowner. I need to get rid of this house.
I think the goal, once we shift our way of thinking to becoming a problem solver, that's when you start seeing results. Right. And being a problem solver does not always mean getting the property at the wholesale price. It doesn't mean that. I think we're trained to think that, like, we're only helping the seller if it's something in it for us. But we have to shift the way we think. We have to say, you know what? I got to help this seller by all costs. Sometimes helping that seller might be referring them to an agent.
Exactly. We've done that. We've done that many times.
And we've done that before. So we have to understand that we're problem solvers. And the goal is to figure out, how can we assist this seller? When you go into it thinking that way, when you go into a situation thinking, how can I assist this person? How can I serve this person? How can I help this person? And there's been times where we've helped sellers and didn't even make any money. Right. And sometimes you have to sow those seeds sometimes. Sometimes you have to, take one for the team and say, you know what? Hey, the seller got taken care of. The seller happy. And then come right back around. He'll come, and a big deal right after that come. Because we know how God works. We know you know, when you serve and you come in with that type of mentality, you know, and I'm not saying we're in the business trying to just do everything for free. I'm not saying that. But we just, whatever situation come, you know, we go into it with a serving mentality. And, you know, if money can be made, great, you know, but hey, money might be referring to that agent and letting that agent, you know, get that sale. You know, it might, you know, be, but like we're talking about now, creative deals where we make it to where, you know, the seller able to, you know, get some money in their pocket or save a seller from foreclosure. You know, they may be going into needing to do a short sale. And there's been times where people was just willing to just say, you know what, I don't even want the property no more. Like, the heck with that property. And we were like, no, don't do that. Do it short. And then they was able to, you know, get the property out of their name, you know, and, you know, foreclosure looked worse than a short sale, you know. So, I mean, they was able to get rid of the property from, you know, allowing us to sell it or allowing us to take over the payments, you know. So, I just say that to say, like, with everybody that's wanting to talk to sellers and wanting to get better at wholesaling, like we talk about on this call, the mindset got to shift to, you know, every call you make, every cold call you make, every seller you talk to, first thing that need to come to your mind is, let me first find out what the situation is. Let me find out, you know, what's going on with the seller. What's their problem? Why do they want to sell the property? That's the first thing you need to find out. Besides their name, besides the property address, you know, all that stuff, of course, first. But the main thing need to be coming out of your mouth is, you know, what's the situation?
Right.
How can I help you? You know, tell me what's going on. You need to come off as, I'm the problem. Tell me what's going on. Let me help you. Help me help you.
So just big piggybacking off of that, like when, you know, and we're just gonna kind of let you guys come into our world for a second. When you send a deal over, okay, like you may send a lead over or something, you know, you go to reiwholesalersus@gmail.com and you send a lead over with some information, or something like that, you know. The first thing that comes out, and when Lachette brings it to us, the first thing that comes out of our mouth is what, Will? Will, what's the first thing that comes out of our mouth? What's the situation? We don't care. Yeah, why they want to sell? Yeah, we don't care. We don't care about anything. We don't care about price. We don't care about anything. Now price becomes a factor. Of course, it becomes a factor. Yes, eventually. But the bottom line is, what is the situation? How can we help this person out? What is the best thing for us to do? What prescription, as if we're doctors, like what prescription can we prescribe to help this person out of this ailment? And that's what we have to get good at. I like when we were talking to Pierre, and Pierre was talking about, you know, customer service, you know, just, you know, I liked his approach to it. You know, he was talking about, you know, we approach it from a standpoint of, you know, we're giving customer service. You know, we're mirroring our sellers. You know, like we're kind of finding out, you know, in finding out what the situation is. You know, we're finding out their personalities. You know, we're finding out what things they like, what things they don't like. You know, we're finding out a lot of these things. And then, you know, when we find these things out, it kind of puts us in a place where we can build rapport with them, so we can get the whole thing. We can get the whole, you know, like when you go to a doctor, when you go to a doctor's office, you know, the doctor has to know everything so that he can give you the proper prescription. He can tell you, you know, what you need. He or she can tell you what you need to do next. You know, they need to know it all. If they don't know it all, they can do what's called a misdiagnosis if they don't know. And the misdiagnosis won't cause the person won't cause you to get better. It won't cause you to have success. So that's the kind of stuff that we're trying to find out when we're on a call, or, you know, when we're dealing with the seller. We're trying to find out everything so that we can know the best way to help them out. You know, and it's imperative to do that. So We don't automatically say, well, let's do a lease option. We don't automatically say that. No, we don't. It's not an automatic thing. We don't automatically say, let's do a subject to. No, we don't automatically subscribe that. We don't automatically say you need a short sale. That's not an automatic thing. It's all based on the prescription. It's all based on what the situation is, and then we'll work to attack it from there. So that's I believe that is why some of us have not had the success starting out, is because we're afraid to ask questions. And I think that's a mindset thing. And I think part of it is we're not sure about ourselves in dealing with this business. But understand, that's why we have this community. That's why this community is here, because you have somebody that can answer that question. You have somebody that can help you if you don't know everything. So feel free, like when you're making these diagnoses, like when you're dealing with these sellers, feel free to ask as many questions as possible. Ask as many questions as possible. Get rapport first, and then ask a question, partner.
Absolutely. Real quick, a couple of people was chiming in in the Q&A.
Yeah.
I want to say her name is Tatia.
Tatia, okay.
Tatia was saying earlier when we were talking about we refer deals to agents, she like, keep in mind when your best option is referring to an agent, smiley faces. So,
that's what's
she also said
yeah.
something else and said, good evening, guys. I was on a Saturday's call, but I'm trying to start an investor group with my family, and the other two were not able to be on the call. Did you happen to record it?
Are you talking about Saturday?
I think she's talking about Saturday, and you said something about YouTube, right?
Yeah, let me show you guys. We'll look and Wilson want to know, have we decided when the sales and negotiation Zoom call will be? It'll be real soon. It'll be real soon. We got
something else scheduled.
Yeah, this month we got something super special coming up. But let me show you guys. Can I share my screen? Let me see if I can share it.
You should be able to.
Let me go.
That little button in the middle down in the bottom says share screen.
Where?
But we got that one coming, Brother Wilson. We got that because we think that's gonna be good. That negotiation one. We got that one coming, but we got a special one this month coming up. But that one we're gonna have coming soon too. Cause we definitely need to recap on sales.
Okay. Let me see. Can I go to YouTube?
You sharing your screen so you can go into your
It's not showing me. It's not even giving. Okay. There we go. Okay. So what you can do is you can actually go to the Wholesalers R Us, REI Wholesalers R Us page. Huh?
Who's that handsome fellow right there?
but this is what we really want you guys to do, okay? Please, because we are upgrading our page, and we're putting a lot of work into it. So please go to the page, guys. Please go to the page and subscribe to the page. It's free to do that, okay? And then go to the videos. This video right here, this was the meetup on Saturday. Wholesalers R Us virtual May meetup with the experts of lease options and subject to. So yes, you can get your family in on this. And please, as you go to it, please, when you get there, like the video, and share it, please. Like, share it. And then, huh?
No, I wanted to correct. I'm so sorry. She said my name is pronounced Tasha, and that do make sense. Tatia, Tasha. Okay.
Sorry about Tasha. But yeah, just go and subscribe to it, and I promise you guys, there's nothing but value on our page, nothing but value on our page, and please just like, subscribe, and share. And guys, we will keep bringing value to you guys. We promise you. So you got the whole meetup on there. You got $1 million worth of game right there. So hopefully that answered your question. Okay. Yeah.
did.
Okay, so you got who was asking about that? Okay, that was Tasha. Okay, you were asking about that. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah.
Any other
Yep.
questions, real quick?
So
You can chime
so
in. Guys.
that's that. But but this is the time, guys. I yeah, and the other thing that I'll say is like during times like this, when there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, this is when this is when people will be trying to sell their property. This is when people will be trying to sell their real estate. I tell you how this. Listen, the stock market, and you would have thought this. You would have thought that there wasn't going to be a rally today, but the stock market had a rally today. There was a rally with the stock market today, and it's because investors they look to the future. They don't just look at the next day. They look towards the future. So when you're thinking about this business, we're talking about building generational wealth. We're talking about building a world where your kids and your kids' aren't going to have to think the same as some of our brothers and sisters are having to think out there on the streets. They just happened on Friday. People ain't gonna be thinking that 2 generations down the line, if we get things in place. So when you think about this business and you think about where you're starting now, you think about you're starting, hey, I'm wholesaling deals. I'm learning how to get into this business. Then it's not just you. You're not the only person that's doing that this is going to affect. When you become wealthy, you are going to affect generations past you. So just understand that if this is the business for you, that when you become wealthy in this business, you're going to affect other generations in a positive way. And they're not going to have to think about the same things that, unfortunately over the weekend, a lot of us have had to deal, a lot of people had to deal with. Will was just telling you guys how he looked out of his window downtown. He looked out of his window and what he had to see this weekend. So people that are free financially aren't necessarily going to have to worry about that. Aren't going to have to worry about looting and, feeling displaced, because guess what? You're going to be able to vote. You're going to be able to affect things, in the right way. So yeah.
Anything else that stood out to you from Saturday's meetup that you think would be beneficial for people to know?
Listen. I just want people to go to Saturday's meetup and check it out on YouTube. Go back and study it, because like I said, it was $1 million worth of game on Saturday's meetup. Now, we even got a chance to listen to, the guy. They were talking about negotiating. Negotiate. He talked about the 4 different personalities. That people. He touched on that a little bit, and that's again $1 million worth of game. Recognizing when you're on the phone with somebody, what kind of personality are you dealing with? Are you dealing with an urchin? Okay, what's an urchin? An urchin is a person that studies a lot. An urchin is a person that actually looks at everything, before they make a decision. They make an educated decision, and sometimes it takes a long time to make a decision. I'm talking about sellers. Are you dealing with a dolphin? What's a dolphin? Dolphin's a person who likes to have fun, and will just kind of go with the flow and won't necessarily, they'll, whatever you say is good, and they'll flow with you. Are you dealing with a shark? What's a shark? Shark is a person that's all about the money. Show me the bottom line and I'll do business with you. And it's important. It's important to know these personalities. It's important to know these personalities when you're on the phone with sellers. And he touched on that just a little bit on Sunday. So I enjoyed that. I wanted us to get into that a little bit more, and realizing that we're probably going to get into that during our sales training.
Reese got a question for you. I think that's related to you. Just something you can answer.
What's that? What's that now?
Cherie said, I've been going back and forth about becoming a real estate agent. Do you think it would benefit me when it comes to being a wholesaler? So I think you can kind of answer that question because you kind of
Yeah. I'll say this. Listen, I mean, you've got to really educate yourself on the process. I think that I think the traditional saying was that you couldn't be an investor and an agent at the same time because you got to disclose everything. Well, guess what? I mean, we disclose everything anyway. So yeah, I mean, I think it's beneficial to you. I think it's very beneficial to you to add skills to your toolbook. I think it's very.
Let me ask you a question, bro. I guess the young lady who was commenting earlier, Tasha, I guess she made it clear she's an agent, but she commented and said, "Don't do it. No, it hurts us." I'm curious to know why she feel that way.
Yeah, I want to know why she feels that way. I've got and to me, I've seen enough of our partners as agents to where, listen, I know very successful partners that are agents, and they do both. They do both. They just disclose everything. But yeah, I'd like to know. I mean, we could bring her on the screen and want to know what she thinks and why.
If you're open to going on the screen, we can chime you in because I'm curious to know because I mean I hear
and I really think
it's a right or wrong answer, and it's not a right or wrong answer to this.
But my opinion is that a lot of it has to do with your broker. A lot of it has to do with your broker and who you're dealing with. If you've got an investor focused broker, then they understand what you're doing. If you've got a standard broker that that doesn't quite understand this business, then yeah, you may have some trouble. But it all depends on your broker. In my opinion. Can we bring you on screen? You want to come on screen?
She said, I don't know how we let me see.
Okay, she said sure. Okay.
And while we're waiting, I guess for jump on, Delano had asked, do we know of any books that talk about the personalities, the different type of personalities you were talking about earlier, mirroring?
Yeah, they got. Hold on. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I learned the different personalities from my time in network marketing. That's how I learned a lot of that stuff. I didn't read a book, but let's see. Okay.
It's a lot of those different negotiation books go over that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Well, we can't see you.
Probably because you don't really give us that option of doing both when we first sign on.
Oh, we don't?
I don't see it.
We got to change that. Hold on.
It just comes on audio.
Lissette, how do we change that?
Let me see. Oh, you know what? I can do it over here. It looks like.
Okay.
Sure, this might be pretty cool. We normally don't bring people live on to answer questions.
Lissette, I think we muted you. Muted now, but there should be a camera down there.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. How you doing?
Oh, I look a mess.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I've been working all day. But
yeah.
I say that because I've been a realtor for 14 years.
Okay.
Also an investor at one point. And I'm not going to say at one point, still am. I just got to get back out there. Mm-hmm. However, when it comes to wholesaling and assignments and things like that, we as agents, and me, myself, I'm a realtor, we're held to a much higher standard than investors are. And so if I put an assignment contract in front of a client, in front of a seller, then I have to go over that contract, make sure they totally understand it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you go that much in depth with things with sellers, You know, they have time to, you know, think, and you want them to know what they're doing regardless, right? But when they hear, oh, you have the ability to assign this contract, you know, then they start asking questions. What does that mean? But as an investor, I can put a contract in front of someone. You're an adult. I can go over it really briefly, ask them if they understand, and they say yes. And them being an adult, okay, they understand. But later on, they can come back with me as being a real estate agent. They can come back and then basically say, I didn't explain this to them. I didn't know she was going to sign this contract for an amount of money. You know, why did I get this amount? And then why did she make that? She really didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So my broker is an investor friendly broker, and they allow us to do whatever we need to do as long as it's within the law. Right. But it does make it difficult. I had a deal back in 2008, and I didn't have the funds. But I had a woman trying to sell me 2 properties for like $20,000. And they were on Moreland and Memorial.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. And I got somebody to go in with me, and every investor just wanted to take the deal from me.
Right.
And in the end, I wound up losing that. I even called the cousin and asked the cousin, listen, you know, this is what we have. I sent him all the information. I pulled comps. I did everything. And in the end, I couldn't do it. So, you know, now it's not as easy to find those deals. But that meeting Saturday was great. And I just find sometimes being a real estate agent, it hurts me. But this right now, until I can really get into investing the way I want to, I've got to do it in order to live. But as soon as I start making some money, I'll be throwing this license away.
You know, and I do hear a lot of, you say Tasha, is that how you?
It's Tasha, yes.
Okay, all right, Tasha, I do hear that a lot, but I do also have a lot of my friends, a lot of our friends who've actually done some of these calls, that have done some of our meetups. Enough of them are successful as wholesalers and or buyers in this business to make me feel comfortable actually going to pursue my license. For me, the reason that it's going to be, and I'm giving you full disclosure, the reason that it's important for me to get my license is because I do understand that the relationships that agents have with banks, right? So me as a regular investor, I do not, and this is why I'm getting my license, straight up. Me as a regular investor, I do not have that direct opportunity to have a relationship with the bank. And, and that was stopped a couple of years ago when banks started dealing directly with real estate agents. It's like when I was doing short sales, I used to be able to do the short sales by myself, going directly to the banks, but then it stopped. I think it was around 11 or 12 where the banks just said, we don't want to deal with investors, we'd rather deal with agents.
Right.
And that's when I saw the writing on the wall for that. Now, as far as, and that's why I'm getting my license, is because I know that over the next year or whenever the banks start having to deal with us again, then it's going to be to my advantage to have it. I think that the pros are going to outweigh the cons. Now, I do understand that there are cons where you have to disclose everything, and sometimes it becomes a pain. But I also feel like I have enough experience, or per se game, where I can explain, this, that, or the other, and make it happen. The agent, the broker that I'm looking to possibly go with is going to be an investor-focused broker, not just investor-friendly, but investor-focused broker. And they're gonna work to find ways to kind of help us make it happen. And they're already doing this. So that's my reasoning. But I do understand what you're saying. Going to school and going to class. And I took the class during the virus. Like when they had us on shutdown, that's when I took the class. But so in doing that, you know, I understand what they say to people that are trying to be agents, but with for people like us, like what we're doing is not legal. You understand what I'm saying? But you know,
It's
but I see the advantage, and for me, the pros outweigh the cons, and for me, it's the ability to be able to work with banks.
and especially if you do a lot of short sales, because yeah, they did. Like I got licensed right before the market fell through back in '06,
Mm-hmm.
and if it wasn't for investors, I would not still be a real estate agent. And everybody would say to me, how in the world? I mean, I lucked up and I wound up getting an REO account, everything, you know, as a new agent. That was just like unheard of. You know, I was with Keller Williams initially, and I was agent of the day, and I was cool with the girl at the front desk. She said, girl, come take this call. You know, I took that call and I fudged it. I said, listen, I'm with a client right now. Give me the property address. I'll call you back. And it wound up being a bank that was like, okay, when I called them back and gave them the information, asked me, did I want the listing? And they just started giving me listings from that point. See? And so
what's up?
I started meeting investors, but I didn't meet the investors that I really wanted or needed to meet. You know, I was meeting those investors that were working hard every day for their money and or use their 401ks, and once they spent it up, that was it, you know. So I needed a hedge fund is what I needed, you know, and what I was trying to work towards. But so that's why I say I'm an investor friendly agent, because, you know, that's all I've really ever worked with. And now I'm working with buyers. And anyway, I'm working with buyers, and I'm tired of helping other people that are decisive. And, you know, you like today I showed like 4 houses, and everyone, oh, it's a contender, it's a contender. Listen, make a decision, you know. So I'm tired of using my license for other people, put it that way.
So let me ask you this. So are you, now when you say you're dealing with buyers, are you dealing with buyers that are
owner occupants? Right now, owner occupants.
Oh, okay. You're doing a dog and pony.
See, right. A lot of investors already have the agents or that they've been working with, or they don't even really want to work with agents because they've learned so much over the years that we're kind of obsolete when it comes to, you know, trying to align yourself with someone, unless we can get into a group like yours and, you know, you get to know us and you know what I'm saying? So it's gotten harder to actually, I used to do like bulk stuff as well. So I do have some of those guys that are like in other states that'll call me and see if I have any wholesale or bulk deals that, you know, but it's still, it's hard, you know.
Well, here's the thing. And I can tell that you're somebody that adds value to a situation. I can tell just by talking to you that you add value to a situation. Make sure that they understand, like when you're selling yourself to investors, make sure they understand that you do add value. Because a lot of times they, you know, some investors just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like some investors want to do everything by themselves. But if you look at me and Will, I would say, I'd say about 60–70% of our business is done through agents. Is that not right, Uncle Bill? Yeah, he's shaking his head. But most of our business is actually done through and with agents. We do a lot of business with agents, and we appreciate agents. We appreciate what they bring to the table. As a matter of fact, coming up this month, and I'm not gonna say her name yet, but this month we're gonna have one of the premier people that's going to be doing our meetup. And she's gonna tell you, you know, she's probably gonna tell you how you can add it. I can't hear you, Will, but she's probably gonna tell you how she. There you go.
It's not Lenore, is it?
No.
Lenore.
Lenore who?
I can't remember her last name, but she sends me wholesale stuff all the time. She's like
No,
huge portfolio of stuff that she's
Lenore
always
Smith?
sending.
Lenore Smith is in there?
No, I know Lenore, but no, we're not talking about Lenore. I know Lenore, but we're not talking
I
about.
think it's Shepherd.
No, we're not talking
No,
about
it's not
Lenore.
Lenore.
Yeah, we're gonna tell you guys in the next couple of days. But it's gonna be something as to where you, Tasha, and whoever else is on the line, that's licensed, y'all are gonna get value from this, and y'all do not want to miss this next meetup. Listen, if you've been teeter-tottering, you know what I'm saying? Like you're like, man, I just don't know right now. Once you get done with this, you're gonna be like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I promise you. So yeah.
All righty.
It's funny that you got to that topic because that's the topic we got coming up for, pretty much the next meetup is just going to be talking about, should you get your license, how to partner with agents, how can investors and agents work together, all that stuff. I mean, these topics always come up. So we like to talk about the topics that we need to talk about. So thank you so much, Tasha, for
one more thing, Tasha. The other thing that you may want to do is you want to study this market, okay? And I don't know, but study the market and add value that way to investors from a standpoint of like where the market's going. For instance, the Redfin CEO, he was talking about how people are trying to move into suburbs now. That kind of stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff is very relevant.
Because with Corona out, they want space. They no longer want to be on top of each other or be in condos where you got to pass people in the hallway to get to your apartment. So,
but knowing those trends and being able to explain those trends to us investors, that'll make us listen. Just to let you know, that kind of stuff makes us listen. So it may be some kind of newsletter or something like that. When you're marketing to people, market it in such a way as to where, their ears will perk up when you say that. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes, it does. And our broker does, we do our sales meeting every Monday and they go over all of that. So they make sure if you're on that meeting, you're gonna know what's going on in this market.
So for instance, when they go, because I know y'all get information before we do.
Mm-hmm.
So when they give you that information, you ought to be coming back to your family and your group. We're your group, we're your family. You should be coming back to us and say, hey, Will, Tim, y'all know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And we can let the tribe know. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how you add value to investors is stuff like that. But the information that you're getting now every morning is important. Okay.
Thank you.
Send us an email.
Thank you so much for expressing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Anitra said, thanks for this conversation. I was going to enroll next week in a program, but didn't have the full understanding of what I was getting myself into. Now I can proceed with confidence. So thank you, Anitra, for posting that.
I think Groupon
and
had
Delano, you said Groupon had or something?
No, I was gonna let y'all know. I think Groupon, I don't know if they still have it, but Groupon has a coupon for Metro Brokers, I believe, half price. So see if it's still up there.
And Delano, I was gonna mention that anyway, Brother Wilson. He commented back on your question about the mirroring in different books. He talked about Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, which is a great book. I was just about to mention the book. Yeah, and then he said on the bank code system for personality profiling, and he said go to bankcode.com, and it goes over the personality. So appreciate that, Wilson, for sharing those two. I was just finna say Chris Voss' book, I'll Never Split the Difference, but I never heard of the bank code, so I'm gonna have to look that up myself too.
We're gonna look that up.
Yeah, appreciate that. So we went a little bit over, and I appreciate everybody that stayed on to the whole time, man. So I appreciate you guys staying with us tonight, and we grateful again for you guys just being a part of our world and just wanting to hear what we got to say. Make sure you guys, like Tim said earlier, make sure you guys are subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you guys want to get some of the previous Monday calls and some of the previous meetups, make sure you follow both of us on social media. Some of you are already on Facebook. I'm William Galloway. He's Tim Harvey. Instagram, I'm at Uncle Bill by Houses. He's at Who Is Tim Harvey. And we hope to see you guys next week. And most importantly, if you guys are getting deals, if you guys are seeing deals, if you guys seeing deals that may not seem like they have equity or may look like they do have equity, just send them to us. You know, we just want to take a look at them. Let's have a conversation. Let's strategize and see what direction we need to go in. Sometimes we don't know if it's a deal or what direction or what the strategy is until we actually get an address, until we know the situation like we talked about earlier. So let us help you. You know, let us look at some deals with you. Let's talk about some deals. If you got a deal that you're contemplating on, you know, what direction to go in, or if you need help with the deal, you need help us talking to the seller, you know, let's just send us that deal. You know, let us look at it with you. Our email is reiwholesalersus@gmail.com. That's REI wholesalers, the letter RUS. That's reiwholesalersus@gmail.com. And somebody in our back office will reply back to you, ask you a couple of details so we can better assist you. But we're looking at deals every day. So the more deals, the better way we can assist you, the better way we can help you get to the closing table. And like he said earlier, we do work with agents. So if you're an agent, you know, if you got a deal, you know, we'll work with you as well. So, you know, we want to work with everybody. So just keep us in mind. If you got a deal, keep us in mind. And anything else?
I was going to say, Lachette works our back office agent. So she said, and we work with agents. She said, Anitra, if you need more info about real estate classes, please contact me. She's a realtor with Metro Brokers. She can send you information about scholarships. So they do have scholarships. So,
yeah, send us an email if you're interested. About being an agent, send us an email because
yeah,
we'll assist you with that as well. So you know, just
REI Wholesalers @gmail.com.
Whatever you need assistance with, just send us an email, and we'll definitely help you out. So guys, thank you so much. We're blessed to have you guys on this call. It was such a blessing. Everybody saying thanks. Should I use the email? Tasha says, should I use the email address that I received when I was invited to the meetup Saturday? Just use REI wholesalersus@gmail. REI wholesalersus@gmail. That's the best email that our whole team sees that email. So someone will get with you really, really fast using that email. I'm not sure what email you've seen previously. It might be the same one, but
yeah,
it's REI wholesalersus@gmail. And we can assist you with any of your needs. So thank you guys. We'll be on the meeting next Monday, same time, 8 p.m. We'll send out reminders, and we love y'all. Be safe out here. Be safe, be careful. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
all right, y'all, be safe.